So the market is $7 trillion, and we have a less than a 2% representation in how we build technologies. Being an icon starts with a choice, continuing to look at your goals through the glass ceiling or breaking through it.
We don't like it. We don't even like to look under the rock, but we do have to acknowledge it.
And I asked for help, and a guy turned around and looked at me and said, "You don't belong here."
And that was an inspiration to build Women in Cloud movement, where each and every one of us come together to create active access by serving, by influencing and partnering with each other.
Having to have such kind of platform for women is a change maker, basically.
Your strength is your voice, and don't let anybody tell you differently.
Once you show up and you do the work, and then you can become the next icon in the world.
Wow, look at them. We have from California, from Atlanta, from Michigan, from Maryland, from Seattle. Welcome. From Mexico, Ottawa, Canada. Welcome, everyone. Very, very excited to talk about really how to upskill, pivot, promotion, and how to really earn your credential. And the reason why we did the trailer for the icons, because we believe each one of you are destined to become the icon in the tech industry. And it really starts with skilling. It really starts with mastery. It really starts with contribution. And I'm so glad that each one of you have showed up today. So for how many people are new here? Put it in the chat, say new, so that way I have an idea. Welcome, Kavita. Welcome, Shilpa, Veronica. Well, I am Chaitra Vedulapalli. I'm the president of Women in Cloud. I want to welcome all of you to our ecosystem. We are so grateful to have you here. For who do not know anything about Women in Cloud, we are an economic development organization with a mission to create $1 billion of access for all of you. And it really starts with our workforce and leadership development. We focus a lot on economic development and policy advancements in the tech industry. So today, I want to start by asking you a question. You are here. Share with us the things you want to learn in the next 12 months and in the AI era. What do you want to learn? Put it in the chat. Anything, go bold, go be fearless. Be excited of what you want to learn. I have one thing I want to learn is how to set up a fund, an investment fund for women to invest in the ecosystem. Look at that. People want to learn go-to-market strategy, Python. What else do you want to learn in the AI era? AWS. Veena, you are here in the Microsoft one. That's interesting. Responsible AI. They want to understand difference between pen testing and vulnerable management. Want to become a consultant in AI. Beautiful, expert consultant. Want to break into cybersecurity from being in IT for past 22 years. Want to work on big data and community data warehouse. AI and product management. AI advisor. Business analyst. Digital marketing. AI innovator. Well, you are in the right group to do some really cool stuff. So what's the agenda for you? I have some really fun agenda. One is we want to make sure you understand the new program that we launched, which is the WIC Skills Ready Challenge. Really, this is like our advanced place where we are so happy after Debbie embarked Women in Cloud to really drive the workforce development from certification scholarship. Right now, we are going into credentialing so you can achieve quickly what your dreams are. Second, you will also understand the applied skills credential. We'll have Namrata, she will be here. No, we'll have Nandita, who will be here, who will be talking more about the applied skills. We'll do a walkthrough of the MS Learn, which is the credentialing platform today. We'll also help you understand how to prepare yourself to achieve the credentials in a week. And we'll also have the demo of the private community and the Q&A with the speakers. Is that all good for you? Do you like it? Okay, so let's start with it. First is I want to make sure you all understand how to have a real interactive engagement. There is a Q&A section on the top, so please make sure any questions you have, put it in there so we can navigate, because the chat becomes very busy. Sometimes your question never gets answered. So this is the best way for the team to make sure that we have the questions there. And once the session is done, we usually ensure that these questions have answers and is available in our digital network or even a blog post. So please make an effort to do that. Can I count on you to use the Q&A feature today? Put it yes in the chat. Okay, I love the thumbs up too. Excellent. Okay, so why are we doing this? That's the first question. Well, there's a new hiring imperative that's happening in the world. It's really the AI aptitude is taking a center stage for all of us. And leaders, I would say 66% of the leaders are saying they're not going to hire someone without an AI skills. Well, I'm one of the founders. I would say first question I ask is, are you a proponent of AI or you are not? If you're not a proponent of AI, usually they can't get on a job at Women in Cloud, just because we are in an industry where we want to make sure everybody is trained. They know how to use a powerful technology for us to stay ahead. So think about that one. If I'm thinking about it, every hiring manager, every executive is thinking about hiring people with the AI skills. However, there is a hidden talents shortage that is happening because of the AI. Well, it's a lot of shortage. We are looking at 94 million people have to be retrained, reskilled in the world to really address this hidden shortage. And the shortage is coming from really 4 really core areas. One is lack of access to industry approved AI curriculum, for certification, for credentialing, and also having a community that supports you. Do you all agree with that one, like the lack of access? If you agree, put yes in the chat or give me a thumbs up. Second is unable to demonstrate a project-based skills and credential to managers or hiring managers to show them that you can do this. If you agree with that, give me a hard thumbs up to that. Third is really time-consuming certification process. That can take a lot of time. And the last, which I truly believe our community always says, they're unable to find time and money to develop your skills. And if that's the case, that is the reason why we are having a shortage. But there's also one thing, baby boomers are retiring, 10,000 of them every single day. So think about, there's a huge opportunity out there, but you really have to get skilled. Based on that, 2 years ago, working with Debbie Utek from Microsoft, we actually embarked on the Workforce Development Initiative to provide certification scholarship for all of you. How many of you have got that benefit? If you have got the benefit, put it in the chat, benefit. Because it's very important for us. If you have got the benefit, that was the journey we took to ensure that women are skilled in AI, cyber, cloud. Look at that. So many people have got the benefit because of that program. So what we decided was, how do we transform to this project-based skilling? That's where the Skills Ready Challenge was introduced. We really architected. Debbie and Nandita, they all came together and really helped us understand, how do we make a verifiable credential accessible for our community? And it is one of the things that every hiring manager is asking for that. And this one you can earn in weeks rather than a year of commitment. And we also have gamified. We have a lot of cool prizes, a lot of challenges that allows you to keep motivated. And then also exclusive access to get spotlight, speak at the events, network with recruiters, and WIC projects. So that's what WIC Ready Scare Challenge is, the program that is made available for you. Do you like the program? Yes in the chat, or give me a thumbs up. So how do you participate? That's your $1 million question. It's really a 3-step process. you have to submit your application. Once you do that, we will bring you into a place where you have all the information. So you will embark on a credentialing phase, whether it's 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but it's a process that you have to go through. Once you have that, you are going into an engagement phase. This is where we engage you and celebrate you for accomplishing it. What we are looking at is getting 1,000 people credentialed in the Women in Cloud community. And that will allow us to really say, we do have a very top-notch talent who are really ready to embark on a very amazing career in the tech industry. So how does the submission of the application work? I'll also have Marissa come online. She is the program manager. She'll also do some demo for you to show how to go about it. So next slide, please. So one is, how do you submit it? One, you have to go to the landing page. You have to click apply, and this form comes up. This is an application form. It takes 10 minutes to submit your application. So the tips for writing your best case of why you need to get approved: be authentic. Very important. You need to tell the reason why you need this opportunity, and tell us what you want to achieve by getting this scholarship, because this is an opportunity. It's not just going to be given to you. And then ask any questions by emailing to WICxCLOUD@womenincloud.com. Are you clear on that? That's just a very simple step. You have to submit an application. Perfect. Coming into acceptance into the program. Once you get accepted, you will be invited into a private network. It's like a small group where you have all the people who have been accepted in it. And then you follow is a get started process. It's a very structured process to make sure you're not confused, you're not getting lost, everything is structured. And then you start activating your access for MS Learn and then GitHub, so that you have those two infrastructure ready to go forward. So how do you stand out? Well, first is you need to invest time to understand the step-by-step process. And second is you have to take action to get your credentials done. Once you have finished your credential, you're going to submit your credentials and also submit your accountability form every single week, because we know how you're progressing. If you're getting stuck, we know that we can nudge you or pick up the phone and call you, so you're not lost. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, and then be active. And people who are active, you know, from Women in Cloud, we see you and we will create more opportunities for you. This community is based on people who prepare, who are engaged, and who are contributing. They get the maximum amount of opportunity. It's really not driven by titles and how much money you have, nothing. It's really done through being truly iconic leaders, and they have a very unique skill set. That means they contribute in others, they contribute in how they move forward, and they're engaged effectively. And then if you have any questions, you can reach out to WICskilling@womenincloud.com. Is that clear on how this whole program looks like? Okay, once that is done, there are 4 credentials that are available for you for the AI one. There are 3 plus 1. One is build a natural language processing solution for Azure AI. Second is build an intelligent document processing solution with Azure AI, which document intelligence. Third is developing your generative AI solution with Azure Open Service. This one is really ensuring that you need to have a corporate email account. Otherwise, you really cannot take the assessment. For the challenge, we have also included one is migrate SQL Server workloads to Azure SQL database. So these are the 4 credentials that are available for you that you can take, and you can participate in the challenge. So how does the challenge work? Next slide, please. The prizes will be awarded monthly throughout the challenge. So make sure every month we are going to pick the people who have completed the credential, and we are going to do a random draw. They have to submit a completed credential. Winners will be selected every month, and outstanding performance and top achievers may also receive special recognition and rewards. So this is the gamification part of the process. It really energizes you and keep you posted. So how do you go about doing that? Again, in the private network, we have provided the information. Next slide. So there will be a link where you have to submit the credentials. So you put in all the info. You will join the Icons Live on the dates, which are mostly every Friday. We do it from 9 to 9:15. So end of the month is when we will be announcing the winners. So there are 3 specific winning like prizes you can win. The category 1 is someone who have earned 1 credential. They get to really get mock interview and coaching from experts in our industry. Do you like that one? Because most of you will be very excited, like to have a mock interview and coaching. That's like number 1 asked resource from us. Number 2, if you earn 2 credentials, you will also have resume review and also coaching. We can look at your resume and say, what's going on? Again, from an expert. If you like it, say yes. And number 3 is category 3. You have earned 3 credentials and you will have your LinkedIn profile, readiness, and coaching. So those are your 3 core offerings that we are providing. Okay, so with that one, I'm going to bring Nandita Sampath. She works at Microsoft and she's the architect of Applied Skills, and really excited to have her here today. And she can take you through what is the platform, why she has put together this solution, and why does she believe this is the best credential platform or credentialing experience you all will have. And again, Nandita, thank you for being here with us. And I'm going to hand over the baton to you. But before we go, what's your favorite chocolate?
I think I love Cadbury's Dairy Milk, either the milk chocolate or the fruit and nut flavors.
Beautiful. So if once you finish the credential, here is for everyone. Please send her the dairy milk chocolate to her as a thank you, because without her, you wouldn't have got access to this opportunity. With that, Nandita, the stage is all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As Chaitra said, we want to talk today about this importance of AI skills in our rapidly evolving digital world, right? And it's clear that learning and skill development are more essential than ever, especially in the realm of artificial intelligence. And at Microsoft, we've always been committed to empowering learners with the tools and knowledge they need to succeed. Our certifications have long served the primary gateway for skill development. And what we've done now is added a new type of credential called Microsoft Applied Skills that enables you to meet the demands of the future, in addition to maybe your goals of taking a certification as well. So our skilling and credentialing portfolio has expanded to include AI-specific credentials, the ones that Chaitra shared with you earlier. And building AI capability and confidence is essential. As we talk to IT managers and hiring managers, we consistently hear that having the right skills makes all the difference. When equipped with AI skills, organizations can unlock the full potential of technology, right? And then they can achieve their strategic goals. And so by skilling up, you're essentially making yourself more valuable to your organizations or a future organization that you want to apply for by building that skill set that they perceive valuable to reach their goals. So let's learn more on applied skills now that we understand, this importance of the skills first momentum, if you will, in the industry around building AI and cloud computing and other emerging technology skills, right? So what is Microsoft Applied Skills? Microsoft Applied Skills is this new verifiable credential that is scenario-based and provides you the proficiency in that skill set to meet those business challenges. So what does that mean? right? What it means is we validate knowledge in a specific skill set that could be a specific scenario that you would actually do in the real world, right? So, and as an example, build a solution with Azure AI services, or develop an ASP.NET core web app that consumes an API, right? And so they're very specific scenarios that are related to in-demand hot skills that are very much connected to the real world when you have a job and what you would be doing in that job, right? And so this credential helps you build the depth skill set needed for those specific scenarios, and helps you validate those skills and then earn the credential, right? And so essentially, you validate your knowledge, you earn the credential by taking an online, on-demand, lab-based assessment. You pass the assessment, then you earn the Microsoft Verifiable Credential, which is called Applied Skills. So just give me a thumbs up or something if you feel like you're following along, or if you have questions. Obviously, please post it in chat. Okay, so I'll keep moving, but please send us your questions as well. So a question we often get is, what is the difference between Microsoft certifications and Microsoft applied skills? So like I said earlier, right, our certifications have been around forever. And what we offer today in market are the fundamental certifications and then the role-based certifications, right? The role-based certifications are around you aiming for a specific role, like an AI engineer, a data scientist role, etc. And you're working towards the broad skill set that is required for that specific role, right? Whereas applied skills focuses on that one specific skill set for that one specific project-based scenario, right? So you are going to be onboarding into a project, or you are working on a project, but you desire to work on something else, and you're trying to upskill yourself to be ready for that project, and showcase to your manager that, hey, you've taken the time to go build that skill, or to a potential hiring manager that you have these skills and hence, are going to be a valuable potential candidate for that job. And again, certifications, because it has to cover a full role, it goes across a breadth of skills, whereas applied skills hones into that one specific skill set that you might need at that point in time. For our certifications, you schedule and register for an exam. And in applied skills, it's online, it's anytime, it's lab-based assessment. And you have the flexibility to take it when you have the time. It is also, because it's a shorter type credential, or some people like to call it a micro credential, it is more achievable in a shorter period of time. And so if everyone knows how life is and how busy things get, and so if all you can do in this week is earn one credential, then that's great. You have checked off something in terms of your bigger goals. You can go attempt another credential the next time opens up, and earn a second credential, and so on, right? So we have many applied skills that are offered in market today. And so you can decide the different applied skills that you want to take. Now, the other thing I'd also point out is that the applied skills are also designed in a way that they can, if certifications is your larger goal, you could even decide to take a couple of applied skills to before you take a certification, to get a feel of, hey, what is the subject matter? What does it cover? Is this something I'm really interested in? Or maybe it prepares you for a certification sometimes. Or after, if you're someone who has just taken a certification and now wants to prove real world skills, then you can complement your certification with applied skills in order to showcase even more interest and skill sets around that particular topic. So hopefully that's clear in terms of what's the difference between certifications and applied skills. So why should you take an applied skill, right? We know that organizations like to single out talent for their different projects to enable candidates to efficiently validate their tech skills, right? And so by offering applied skills, we think that learners like you can aim for smarter growth and stay ahead of the curve, with in a very resilient workforce, and showcase to their organizations that they're they can bring their products or their projects to market faster and reduce the time it takes to build capable employees. You'll also be able to strengthen your organization by upskilling the talent you have. And so you're kind of preparing yourself for a better tomorrow. And finally, what I'd like to do is talk about how you earn an applied skill credential. So as with any certification or credentialing process, you would typically start with a learning path. These are optional, but if you need to first learn the material, then you would start with a self-paced learning path, or we also have instructor-led training offerings. The self-paced learning paths are free and available on Microsoft Learn. When you are finished with the learning path or the modules in it, you can then attempt the lab-based assessment that is also on Microsoft Learn. So every link that Chaitra has on her site for the Skills Ready Challenge takes you to that credential detail page, and you will see that the lab-based assessment is available on that link itself. The link, when you click on starting an exam or starting the lab-based assessment, it will take you to a VM environment, a virtual machine environment, which is you completing a bunch of tasks that are assigned to you for that assessment in an in-product experience, if you will, showcasing that you know how to apply your knowledge or skills by using the product and completing the tasks that are assigned to you. Now, if you do all of that accurately, then you will pass the assessment. And as soon as you pass the assessment, the credential is assigned to you. The credential also allows you to share and celebrate your win by you choosing to share on LinkedIn or other social media platforms. So it's pretty straightforward in terms of experience. And at this point, I would actually like to invite my colleague Ivor, who can give you a demo of how it all looks on Microsoft Learn, and also as the content owner for the AI learning paths, he can also cover what they teach in each of these applied skill credentials that you might decide to take, and learn more from him. So thank you everybody for your time, and we really look forward to you engaging with applied skills.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivor. Nandita, thanks for having me here. Very excited to talk about these learning paths and the things that we can learn to then take the assessments we were just talking about. So I want to show you real quick on Learn. There we go, it shows up. There's such a breadth of information available. The AI credentials that we're talking about here have dedicated learning paths, but you can go on here and find all sorts of information. And so one of the learning paths that we were talking about was this develop generative AI solutions with the Azure OpenAI service. So if I wanted to come find that, I can come to Learn, search for OpenAI, and it's the first thing that comes up under the training content area. So we go into that, you can see a breadth of information. It talks about what Azure OpenAI service is, how to access it, types of models, things like that. Then we go into using natural language with that service, prompt engineering, generating code, generating images. I'm sure you guys have all seen the AI generated images you can have so much fun with. And then a really interesting topic is retrieval augmented generation. And I'm sure you guys have heard this RAG topic come up with generative AI, and it's a super interesting thing. So if you're interested, I highly encourage you to go read about it. Within all of these, all of the content is free. So you can go read every single article that we've written to learn about this type of thing. I know Priyanka is going to talk about it a bit, but within each module, there's also an exercise that walks you through how to do certain things with whatever service you have learned on. Now, besides Azure OpenAI, we have document intelligence. So document intelligence is around being able to extract really interesting information from PDFs and forms and things like that, so it doesn't have to be manually typed. And there are a bunch of different ways to analyze documents. And then the third learning path that we've talked about is this natural language processing, which is around like detecting language, detecting sentiment, extracting entities, and doing some really cool stuff with that. There's also a very customizable format to have a conversational interface. So think like the chat bots that you chat with customer service or things like that. Using this language service, you can create exactly that. Within each, the exercises and the experiences are all hosted on GitHub. So you can go here and view the entire lab. You will have to bring your own subscription to this, but there are trial subscriptions that give you a credit. So you should be able to complete most of these for free. The only caveat is there is access restrictions to the Azure OpenAI service. So you will need a corporate email to sign up for that service. So I'm going to stop there. I don't want to touch on anything that Priyanka wants to get to. And so I'd like to encourage her to come talk to you about how to successfully prepare for one of these assessments.
So we'd like to bring Priyanka as the next speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Ivor, and thank Nandita. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening once again. And I'm Priyanka. All happy and excited to be here with you. I'm a technical trainer here at Microsoft. So I'm very thrilled to see so many of you here today, eager to learn. And as Ivor correctly mentioned, these are the huge set of information, or you could say a chunk of material here which help you prepare for these applied skills. I have personally done a couple of them, and I would say these are some of the skills where you actually get to work in that OpenAI studio environment or your language studio environment. So you get to work with the exact scenarios similar to what you will have in your real world applications there. So very good. But what I want to focus on today is how could you be better prepared for these applied skills? And as Nandita correctly mentioned, we all know how life is. We're all occupied with different stuff throughout the day. Uh, the way we want to prioritize this is pick the one which is nearest to your scenario or you find yourself, you start in there and say, okay, I want to do NLP this week, the natural language processing one this week. When you go there, I'm pretty sure that we all have that skill because now you're here, you have that courage and willingness to learn here. These are the learn collection or paths which help you prepare for the assessment. Maybe you're already familiar with the content, maybe you already know, or maybe you do not know these at all. That's perfectly fine. If you see here what I was sharing, that gives you an estimated time at the top for each of these sections. So throughout your week, maybe day wise, day one, day two, plan and have those number of minutes set for you. The all these learning paths, they start with the introductions, they let you go into each topic one by one, and Being on Azure, yes, as I said, you would need a trial account or some kind of account to practice on what's going on in the lab environment. So, for example, if it is on the same one where I'm analyzing the text with Azure AI language, uh, this would let me learn around what can I do with that Azure AI language service. So whether I can detect the language, whether I want to analyze the sentiments, is it a positive, is it a negative or a neutral kind of sentiment? I get to see this in action. I get to do this in action in a lab environment within this learning path. So it's not that you have to show up on the applied skill straight away by reading it. Now, towards the end of each of these learning path, you have that little exercise kind of thing that's worth going through it. So, Ivor, if you could click on that exercise part, yeah, that one. Thank you. And as correctly mentioned, once I have that trial or some kind of Azure account with which I can do these labs and exercises, because honestly, how the interface, how your resources will be, they are very similar to how you can expect on that applied skill platform as well. So you would have certain resources, you would be given a scenario in that applied skill, and similarly out here except for the instructions as to how to go along with it. And if you could scroll a bit over here, I want to, yeah. So for most of us, it's like, okay, let's analyze the sentiments. These exercises, when you do, they tell you step by step, go here, do this, click here, open the studio, write this, do things there. And it's all mentioned there. Exactly right. Thank you. So you would be preparing all these things for yourself on that virtual machine part. What I suggest most of the time when doing these exercises is often do them multiple times. That makes you comfortable with the platform, that makes you comfortable with this technology, right? So the first time we do usually is, okay, go through the instructions, do it as they say. The next time when you do it, you kind of have a hang of it. Okay, this is the thing I have to do. Maybe I want to write this code. Maybe I want to go there and click here. So you get more comfortable using it. And as someone asked in the chat a few minutes back, um, for these applied skills that we see here today around AI services, NLP, doc intelligence, and so, yes, a bit of programming is a good to have feature. So in the lab environment, as well as in your assessment environment, you will have an opportunity to choose between either C# or Python, and that's what you would want to write the code for. So maybe you want to familiarize yourself with the learn collection. What are some of those classes? And when you do these applied skills in that environment, and as I say there as well, we want to go the recommended route. So doing a task is not a big deal. I can do it way one, way two, way three. There are multiple ways to provision a resource, for example. But I would do the most efficient way, uh, which takes less time and is more manageable. So pick that route, and for that purpose, especially again, these exercises will help you a lot. So honestly, these exercises are a great resource for you. They do have, yeah, these are the instruction sets, the code snippets for you to understand as you go along. At the same time, in this set itself, there is a link to the GitHub repo. So yes, absolutely. Thank you, Evan. So that's the one. You would find these kinds on each of those learning paths. If you do have a GitHub account, or you want to practice on your own with your own Azure account or so, you are good to get this on your machines, and then practice, play around, make yourself comfortable during that 1 week that you have planned, maybe, right? And it's nothing like, okay, this is going away. Um, you can always come back to this GitHub repo or that learning path, continue your journey, because that learning path again keeps a track of how much have you completed. I like that feature because those tick marks and other things, yeah. So I've completed module number 1, I've completed section this thing, right? So keep a track of this, plan your time, do the exercises, preferably multiple times. Now, one of the things on that Azure OpenAI applied skill is that, yes, as Ivor correctly mentioned, we need a corporate account to access and get that on our subscription. So while doing these labs, you would need that access for sure. But then when you do the applied skill credential test as such, that slice, the cloud slice that you're given in that lab environment, already comes pre-approved of that. So you should be good to take that without any hassles. Make yourself comfortable with the Azure OpenAI Studio, Visual Studio Code. Practice as you go along. Maybe you want to keep aside 30 minutes or an hour each day during that week, and for sure you will be good with this. So those applied skills that you have on this umbrella are very high in demand these days, and a very good way to showcase your skills there. That those are some of my tips to prepare for. And as I keep sharing with the learners in the class, visit the learning path multiple times, make yourself comfortable with the studio, with the coding platform, play around, make it your playground, right? Do trials, do errors, and that way you get a grasp of that thing. And I'm pretty sure, because all of you are here with that things, each one of you have that potential to excel in these credentials. It's just about the right preparation and the right mindset.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. And I would just echo everything Priyanka said in terms of taking the time to prepare. And likewise, I would also say, before you fire up the assessment, the lab-based assessment, which measures whether you earn the credential or not, take the time to read the FAQs that are provided. Chaitra has the links to them in the WICxSkills Ready Challenge site as well. It just sets you up for success and ensures that you are setting up your system for everything that's required. Because we do have a 72-hour retake policy. So when you take an assessment for the first time, if for some reason you get bumped out, or because of your internet, or maybe because you weren't quite ready and you decided to cancel out of it and take more time to prepare, just know that you can try it again for at least 72 hours before you can attempt it again. So I think a good approach might be to just take the time to learn, and then the second one, take the time to read through the FAQs before you start the assessment. Thank you, everybody. We're really happy to have all of you here and talk about applied skills.
Fantastic, Nandita and Ivor, Priyanka, beautiful work. So for the community, what did you all think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Very important. For me, it's very good. But here's a secret. If you want to be an icon, everyone keeps asking, is like, I want to be an icon, but I don't know how, but I'll tell you how. So you have the secret right now. You show up, check, you did that one. You skill up, you have to have a mastery, and you have the opportunity to master your AI skilling, check, put that one. So get your credentials. I would love all of you to do that. Time block. That's the unique skill of every high performing individual. They actually time block. If you look at my calendar, it's time block for learning and skilling, and it's there at all times. Organize. Everything is, you need to organize yourself. So I'm going to show you how we have organized for you. So you don't even have to waste your time. You just have to show up and start doing it. You have to celebrate each other. Very important, because every credential will get you closer to your own dreams. And last one is being grateful, because these folks come here and do some phenomenal work for you. And so I'm very grateful to Priyanka, Ivor, Debbie, and Nandita for making this one possible. So your role is show up as an icon, work as an icon, and stand out as an icon. Is that good? Okay, so before we get started on a Q&A, I want all of you to take a moment, go to the Q&A tab and vote up the question you need answers to right now. So we can pick up 4 or 5 and then rest we will kind of give the answer. Carolina, if you can share the screen for the digital network, I want people to know is once they get accepted, what happens? So once you get accepted into the program, you will be invited to the digital network. Everything is organized. So it gives you a welcome. There's a weekly accountability submission form that some of you were asking. It really helps you to click on it and put in your accountability because we are driving accountability for you to stay on course. We talk about what's applied skills is, everything in there, how to earn the skills credentialing, because some of you did give feedback that where do I find an MS Learn? Because there are lots of cool stuff. What we did was organize everything for you in a structured way so you can come and get it done. And then how do you participate in the WICxCLOUDJOBS Challenge, which is the eligibility, the prizes, and the giveaway and terms and condition, and all the FAQs. All the questions that we get answered today, it will be available in the FAQ section. And if you want to amplify this opportunity for others, that one is also available for you to do. Is that good? Do you like it? How good Marissa has organized everything for you so you're not lost. Okay, so we have the questions. Let's see where we go. First question for you, I think, whoever needs to answer, but we have Debbie here, very excited, Debbie. Debbie, I know I'm going to ask you this question. What's your favorite chocolate?
I love the question of the day. And the funny thing actually about Chaitra is she loves to give chocolate as gifts, but she doesn't like chocolate either. I like chocolate that is mixed with other things. I don't like pure chocolate necessarily. I'd rather have nuts in it or some type of fruit. So happy to be here with you, and so honored and grateful to Women in Cloud for driving the scholarships we've done for almost 3 years now, or about 3 years, across all of our fundamental courses, our even AI engineer, Azure security. We've got a lot of courses within that. And then more recently, the cybersecurity scholarship for US. Unfortunately, that one is just US, but very available. And when you apply for those, it helps us know what the demand it is for those as well. So those are available. I'm very excited to talk today about applied skills. This is such a needed way of learning with the lab focus and the shorter form, just that what skill do I need right now that I don't have, right, for either the project I'm going to do or the job that I'm applying for. So really excited to have this topic today, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, so the first question everyone have highlighted is what applied skills will be the most valuable in the next 5 to 10 years as technology continues to evolve? Is there anything that you can predict?
So I can take this question. I will say that all of the applied skills that we have in market today are measured across our products and services that Microsoft offers, right? So across M365, Office, Power BI, Power Platforms, Azure, security, AI, and data, right? So all of that. And what we do is like, because of what we just said earlier in terms of like helping you get the skills you need right now, we design these applied skills to be the scenarios that you need for those specific roles, right? So it really depends on what role you want to seek as a technologist and what you want to do as a technologist. And then these applied skills are designed for those specific roles. That being said, we know that the buzz of the flavor of the year or the month, etc., is AI and security and co-pilots and GitHub and whatnot. And we're definitely aligning all our scenarios to have a flavor of AI and Copilot regardless of the product or service. And we're working through them, and we're trying to bring those to market. We have some already, which you can see as part of the skills challenge.
Fantastic, Nandita. I think everyone should take the AI, and that's why we started with AI, and the followed by cyber would be another one. Data protection, data management will be the third area, and completely agree. Keep yourself be engaged. The more you engage, you know what opportunities are coming for you to get yourself ready. The second question I have is, what courses should we take to quickly skill up to get to the level of proficiency and expertise required to pass these applied skills credentialing exams easily?
Ivor, do you want to take this one as to cover the prereqs that you may have for the 3 AI ones?
Absolutely. The AI ones we featured today are all mostly developer focused. So there is going to be some information you're going to need to know about how to code in either Python or C#, which we have touched on. If you go to any of the linked learning paths, there's actually a link within there that says get started with Python or get started with C#. That if you're not familiar, I highly recommend walking through that course. That's also on Learn. That's free. You can go read it. You can go learn at your pace. Once you're ready there, then come back to the learning path and go through each of those modules. And once you've completed and have fully understood everything that's in those modules, you will have the information you need to pass the applied skill. We looked very closely at the learning path that we provide and the test and the assessment and the skills in the applied skill to make sure that we have a good coverage before we release it.
Sure. So to all of you, can you stay extra 10 minutes because there are lots of questions? Is that possible, Priyanka, Nandita, Debbie, Ivor? If you have to drop, feel free to drop. But I just want to make sure that there's like tons of questions. This is amazing, but great. So I just wanted to get your permission. The next question is, what if I don't have an Azure subscription? Can they still take applied skills?
Maybe you want to take over?
Yeah, go for it, Ivor.
There are 2 options. One being when you're taking the learning paths and you want to go through the labs, you can sign up for a free trial on Azure. And every free trial gets gifted $200 of cost within the Azure portal so that you can complete each one of these labs. The only caveat is that you can't apply for OpenAI access with the trial account. Otherwise, you can do the rest of the labs that are provided.
Yeah.
When you're taking the applied skill, you're actually given a subscription that is approved and set up in the way that you need it to be so that you can complete the assessment completely without any Azure subscription of your own.
Fantastic. Coming to is this a paid membership to WIC? No, this is actually I would say a free scholarship that is available for you. This is valued at $4,500 with all the benefits and packaging that is done. So you have to apply to get qualified and approved to be part of it. It does say that it'll take 30 days, but based on what we have done, we are approving within a week based on the application quality. And because we want to make sure is we are not doling out all these scholarships just freely. You can still go and, go to MS Learn and do it. But if you want all the other benefits of the community, other benefits of, celebrating you and all the other cool things that we offer, this is something you have to apply for this opportunity, because we are the only community that is providing you is a rigor, accountability, and making sure that you actually accomplish your credential. Otherwise, you're all alone. If you are motivated, I would say go ahead and go do it. But if you are people like me, I need little motivation, then I need a community. Okay. Coming to how one should start with if switching from non-IT to IT domain, what technology should they learn? And I think, Debbie, that I want you to take it, because there are many of them they're saying is, do I need to get certified to get to applied skills? I'm switching my role. What would you think?
Yes, and actually I'll start, but others feel free to chime in as well. And, I am I think if you're in a non-IT role today, maybe you're in a service type role or a marketing type role or an office manager type role, that you're more of a end user, less of the technical person. I would say, first of all, you have lots of transferable skills. And so the skills that you have in communication, in working in a team, any of these skills are transferable to a tech role. So no, you're not starting from zero. Second, I would say, look at what you have aptitude for. Look at what you're interested in. Are you interested in security? Are you interested in administrating office programs? Are you interested in AI? Of course, everyone is interested in AI right now, but you can't have AI without understanding data or understanding security, right? So there's roles for everyone in the tech industry, and we need diverse people taking those from all backgrounds, all races, all experiences. We need you in these tech roles. So that's, first of all, how you get started. And then once you say, hey, I'm really interested in data. I love data. I love using Excel. I love figuring out, different data models and what's happening there. Then maybe that's your path, right? And then you can look at the scholarships that we offer in applied skills, as well as in the previous scholarships I mentioned, and see what's a good fit for you. If you truly are non-IT, I would say you might want to start with the fundamentals. And we do have, is it 4? I think it's 4 or 5 fundamental courses within the scholarship program. So that's a great place to start if you're truly starting from not a lot of tech experience. Otherwise, explore and look around. And I'll pause there and let others answer.
Yeah, I think, I echo Debbie's sentiments here. The thing I would add is applied skills are, in fact, pretty technical because you are in a lab-based assessment environment. So it's about knowing how to use the product, use the features to complete that scenario and the tasks related to it, right? So I want to set you all up for success. So I do want to call that out, that they are fairly technical. And so if you are coming from a non-technical background, yes, you bring a lot of skills already, but you will need to hone in on those specific technical skills as well. That is going to be important to take one. I'm also the product manager for fundamental certifications, and I will say the same for that as well. Even our fundamental certifications is not directly transferable from non-tech to tech. You do need to go through a tech fluency journey, if you will, before you start to attempt, the things that are more product focused, and then, an applied skill, which is application of knowledge, right? So you're beyond the knowledge, you're going into the application of the knowledge and proving you can earn a skill related to that. So I do want to make sure that everyone here is set up for success, and that nothing is impossible. Even if you are from non-tech backgrounds, you can have a goal to be a career switcher. But it's just a longer journey to get there. So I just want to call that out.
Very well said, Nandita. I'm an engineer, so I can say I had electrical engineering, but I had to go into software, and I didn't have software engineering. So there were steps I took to get there. First is basic learning of databases, how the data is stored. How does the application layer, how the applications actually are created, and then how do you create an application to the database connection? How does that happen? All those things are learned in client server, very easy to move it. But for anyone who's non-technical, make sure those 3 components you understand, and you can go to Google and YouTube and find everything, and then apply for this basic certification, and then go into your applied skills. It kind of gives you the step-by-step process. Nothing is difficult. It's just you have to be motivated that this is the industry. I want to make 100,000 plus salary, and I want to have that career. You have to do it. But we have opportunities available for each and every one of you as you're going through it. So just know is like people who are non-technical, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch to go and do applied skills. I have seen people do it, but I know they are also they're slower in accomplishing the credentials. Okay. Okay, coming to the next question. If you're rusty with our coding, where do you recommend we brush up on knowledge before proceeding to applied skills? Do they need to know coding? Oh yeah, that's a good question.
For the AI applied skills, yes, you do need to know coding. I will drop a link in the chat to the natural language processing learning path that we've been talking about, which is also linked from the challenge. So any way you get there, within the prerequisites, there are also links out to learning paths to learn C# or Python, whichever is more interesting to you. Highly recommend starting there if you are new to coding.
Very well said, Ivor. The next question is, do you have to be an engineer for the MS Applied Skills program? Actually, not really, but having some information technology skills will be very, very helpful. But being an engineer, especially software engineer, very easy for you. But if you are an electrical engineer or a mechanical engineer, you still need to learn the basics to go and take that. So just know is for some it's easy, for some it will take a little bit of more of prerequisites to get there. The next question is, what resources and training opportunity does Microsoft provide to help professionals develop applied skills? I think we talked about that one, enough of that. What is the most critical applied skills for IT professionals to stay competitive in the current job market? I think we talked about that, right? We talked about all the applied skills are good based on which path you want to take. But if we still didn't answer, just put it in the chat, like I need more, or put more clarification question for us. Is what program shall I attend if I want to become a strategic customer success manager in cloud and cybersecurity industry? Debbie, I think this is a good question, and I will answer first and then you can add it up. If you're doing customer success manager, there are two pieces, soft skills and technical skills. So soft skills, you know how to communicate, how to collaborate, how to write effectively. Then comes is your technical skills. You need to have the basic cybersecurity skilling that you need to know, especially what your customer is using. So it's very important that you understand the cybersecurity layers that you will be supporting, because customers can ask any question anytime. And if they are in a place where there is a ransom attack or something like that, you need to know in and out of cybersecurity. Debbie, do you agree with that one?
I do agree with that one. And I think that's a great place to start. I think looking at cybersecurity job descriptions can also help you hone in on what skills you might need for those jobs. And then just to mention again, we do have scholarships to start you on the technical journey of what you might be missing.
Got it. Priyanka, this is for you. You said is how many times do they need to do practice exercise before they take an assessment? Is there like a recommended number?
No, so that's a good ask, actually. I just mentioned in the chat as well. For some of us who are beginning our journey, as I see some of our curious about knowing from non-IT to IT thing, it's always a good idea to go over that learning path content and also the exercises multiple times, I would say, maybe twice, thrice a week sometimes. I mean, the agenda is that you have all the good content and familiarity with what goes where, you're comfortable writing the code, how to navigate and stuff. At the same time, if you're familiar with the content, maybe, yeah, I know what OpenAI is, or I know what document intelligence is, I have used this. I would still suggest it's a good idea to go over those exercises maybe twice. I personally do it 3 times. One with the instructions, second, trying not to go over the instructions and still complete the task, and the third time, I kind of play around and break things so I know how to fix that if that comes up. So that's how I would do. I mean, ultimately, I want to be comfortable that, okay, if on the test or if in the real life, someone asks and says, okay, can you implement this thing in our manual forms or the handwritten forms to read the text to me? I at least have that confidence to say, yes, I have used this library, I have used this SDK, let me do it through the studio, and these are some of the things. So for that purpose, I personally do it 3 times, but then yes, totally would depend on how comfortable you are. You do want to know the environment, the libraries, and the service you are wanting to use there, I would say. Hope that
Very well
helps.
said, Priyanka. I would say is practice, practice
Correct.
till you become perfect. And even in your sleep, you should be able to answer all the questions. That's when you have done really well. Okay. So this one is for you, Nandita, before we wrap, is are these credentials industry standard, or would you need to explain them in an interview or explain what this credential is?
Yeah, so these credentials are offered by Microsoft, and they're verifiable credentials offered by Microsoft. So just by that, I would say yes, they're industry standard. And then in addition, we still offer our certifications, which are more rigorous in terms of assessing the skills. And is a different kind of opportunity. Like I said at the beginning, you can showcase breadth of skills and proficiency in those skills for a specific role. And those exams are proctored and meet the requirements of a certification type of exam. Applied skills are online assessments, and they are lab-based assessments. What they assess is your real world skills, your ability to go in product and complete the set of tasks that might mimic a real world job for those specific roles. I also put in chat, any of the applied skills pages that you click on to learn more about has an at a glance section, and in general, it covers what roles they are applicable to, what product it falls under within Microsoft products, and also gives you an overview on what it's all about. So I hope that helps.
Yes, I think we covered lots of questions. What do you all think? Did you get what you were looking for today? Put it in the chat, say yes. And if you're grateful, write the gratitude for these amazing women and men who come and support us all the time. If you're still pondering on whether I need to apply for the the WICxCLOUDJOBS initiative, if it is, here are 3 reasons. First, really future proofing your career with AI skills. So really take a moment and sign up for this particular lifetime opportunity. Once it comes, it's here. Tomorrow we don't know, but today we have it. So apply for it. Really achieve your credentials faster. We are looking at the fastest way of credentialing 1,000 people as quickly as possible, so we can recognize you in our ecosystem, so that everyone who's looking for the talent, you will be the first one that we will showcase. So we would love to see all the top 1,000 AI ready professional. Did you all enjoy?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank
Very
you so
engaging,
much.
very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Perfect.
having us.
Yes, what were your takeaways before we wrap? What were your takeaways?
I am so excited to see everybody so plugged in throughout the session. I could see the thumbs ups, I could see the responses in chat. That is amazing to see all the engagement. So thank you so much for taking the time to listening to all that we had to share today. I really hope you will take advantage of this amazing challenge that Chaitra has put together. And I hope you can build your skills and get your dream job. So good luck, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Anyone else want to add?
Nandita summed it up so well. I don't even know what to add to that. That was a great way to sum up. I'm always inspired by the audience here. And Chaitra for yours, and Women in Clouds, for Marissa, for Andrea, and Carolina for all the work you do to support this important community. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. And again, my team is amazing. And thank you, Marissa, Carolina, Andrea, and the rest of the team for making this possible. So we are concluding today's session, and you will be getting all the information. Please sign up, be there on the other side. We will take care of you. And let's go get those credentials and stand out in the marketplace. With that, have a good week and see you soon. Bye then.
Thank you.